We're here tonight with Patrick Nehoda. Did I say that right?
You did. Yeah.
Of Nehoda. What so let's see. I saw you. I've only seen you once. I saw you at Cobra Nashville probably 6 or 8 months ago.
Yeah, it sounds about right. That show with Crop and Dead Runes. It was a good night.
And was it Karma Vulture is the other one?
Yeah, and Karma Vulture. Yeah, they closed out the night. That's right. That was a good
Yeah,
time.
that was a good time. So I was blown away by your set when I saw it. I told you at the show, like you guys fucking rocked. What a great way to like start the night.
Thanks,
Uh,
man.
and I was kind of prepped because of Josh and Felicia from Year of October, who are amazing musicians and amazing people. They were like, "Hey, Nihoda's playing that. Make sure you're there early." Like, all right. Um, did not
They are
disappoint.
awesome people. They are
Yes,
really good people.
they really are.
Yeah.
What fucking that? There's so much good music. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
now, and with the people, it seems like the music world is so vast, but when you like break it down, it's like there's 2 degrees of separation between about any musician you can think of.
It's so true. It really is. It's kind of a trip when you do think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's if it blows my mind. Like obviously I travel for shows and do a whole lot of that shit. And I was in a show, what was it, last year? About a year ago actually. And I'm talking to these people and we started talking about these other people and they're like, "Oh, I know them." And I'm like, what the fuck? This is so weird, but
Yeah.
such is life. So,
Such is life for sure.
yeah, for sure. So, let me ask you this. You are not originally from Nashville, correct?
Correct. Correct. We've been here about 10 years now, but
What made what made you go to Nash Vegas?
we moved here from Seattle. We were living in Seattle, and my fiance was basically spent her entire life there. And it was 2015 when we started talking about leaving, and it just got so expensive out there that we just couldn't do it anymore. And well, let me rephrase that. We just didn't want to keep paying the price hikes. It was like when I
Yeah,
first got to Seattle, you could get like a studio for like $800, and by the time we left, almost a little under 3 years later, it was like pushing like $2,600 for the same studio and 3 grand for one bedroom. So we were like, I like it, but I think it's time to try something different. And I had at the time a cousin and her husband and their daughter out here, and I'd visited before, and I always really liked it. I thought it was a cool place. Um, and we just at the time, Nashville was one of those places where it was still affordable to come live and be a musician, and you could be like a bartender or a server, kind of live that lifestyle, and get by. And then, flash forward 10 years later, and now it's catching up to
yeah,
like cost of living in Seattle or somewhere else big, so it's like it's a trip, but it's been a journey. So I'd say music, was something always there in the back of my mind. But family, family's kind of what took us out here. We thought, let's try something different, somewhere that we'd never lived before, and just kind of go for it.
that's cool.
Yeah,
You don't know this. I used to live in Nashville also, but it was like 30 years ago
yeah,
because,
yeah.
I'm fucking old.
I feel that. I feel that.
Like, I left, when did I leave? Probably 2000, 2001,
Yeah,
somewhere in that. But I didn't go far. I just went up to Louisville and like, I really enjoyed my time in Nashville. I lived right outside. At one point, I was in Columbia, and then I
yeah,
was in Brentwood was my last place before I left, and it was God, it was fucking cool because there was always, there's always something to do in Nashville.
hmm
You want to go see a band, you can see any style of band any given night, which is it's and the musicians are fucking spectacular, dude. Like,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's funny when I first came here, a lot of friends were asking me, they're like, "Yeah, but you don't play country," and I'm like, "Do you really think that every musician in Nashville just wants to play country?" And
yeah,
they're like, "Oh, I never really thought about that." Like, man, there's so many amazing, talented musicians for every instrument. It's like, man, like our bass player he was a guitarist first. Walks circles, runs circles around me on guitar, and he plays bass in the band. And it's just kind of like a prime example in Nashville. It's like, oh, our drummer is an awesome bass player and a keys player, and he can play organ and all these different instruments. And it's like, I'm just over here like trying to figure out how to make guitar a little more interesting and
yeah,
and sing over it. But yeah, Nashville is I've never lived in New York. I've never really spent a lot of time up there, so I can't really say, but coming here from the West Coast and seeing what a lot of others bigger West Coast cities are like as far as music goes, it's like Nashville is in a league of its own when it comes
yeah.
to the musicianship. It's just bonkers how many good musicians there are.
Well, and I think, compared to, I think as far as musicianship goes, I would put Nashville up against anywhere in the fucking world because, I mean, dude, there, we used to go down to Second Avenue all the time. That's where, you know,
Mhm.
I don't think they do much on Second Avenue anymore, do they?
Well, second's where they had the it's building back up. It's building back
Okay.
up because that was where second was where that AT&T bomb thing went off, I believe Christmas a few years ago.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah.
that'll do something.
Yeah, yeah, that was a 2020 was a rough one for Nashville.
Fuck yeah, it was. So
Tornado, COVID, and a bombing.
yeah, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
uh, so you'd be walking down the street and the fucking people basking were
Yeah.
better musicians, I think, than people who are in these huge fucking bands. You're
Yeah.
just holy
Yeah.
sh
Yeah, man. It's so true. I mean, everybody, it's a trip, man. It really is. Like everybody plays, even the guys who don't play anymore. It's like, oh, somebody comes over to do work on your house. And they're like, oh, is this your full time? Yeah, this is all I do. Cool, whatever. Then you start talking. I was in this touring band 10 years ago, and oh, yeah, well, who'd you tour with? And they just start rattling off names, and you're like, dude, those are like legit tours, and they're like,
yeah,
yeah, it just got to the point where I had to do something else, a little more stability, and it's like, there's a joke that goes around a bunch online. It'll be like, the I think Music Shitty put it up, and it was like, there's equal amounts of realtors as there are musicians in this town because it's like the next step for
it is, dude.
everybody.
If
you
it's,
know,
it's so, it's the fucking truth. And
yeah.
it's so funny because I've met a lot of musicians because I'm a fucking realtor. Like,
Yeah, it's how it goes, man.
uh, I'm like, this is so fucking funny. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, it's it's
it,
it's pretty wild.
it is fucking hilarious, is what it is.
Yeah,
Oh shit. Since you've been in Nashville,
yeah,
actually, let's not even talk about since you've been in Nashville. Let's talk about, is this thing on? Um, I have to say I fucking love it. Like the way that it starts and onward right before it goes into the tracks live at Starstruck.
yeah.
Like holy shit. I've seen you
Thanks.
guys live and I was like, I don't know what I was expecting when I put this on. But I'm like, I don't remember them being this fucking chill live.
Yeah, I think, man, this is such a weird thing because we're still trying so hard to like figure out how to capture what we do live
You,
in the studio. because it's like when we get to the studio, you know, it's like this last record, we were like, let's make a record that people want to put on and listen to, like in the car, that they want to listen to like at night when they're at home, maybe when they're doing something around the house, whatever it may be. I was like, let's make like more of a studio album because if you like some of our earlier stuff was like cut it live, don't do any overdubs, don't do any magic, just release it. And we really like doing that. But I felt like as a three piece, I wanted to try to make things a little bit more interesting, as far as like orchestration and building up the songs, maybe make them a little different than what you might hear. But I don't know what it is, but in some way or another, when it comes to the recordings, they always just kind of like there's something we can't. I don't want to say
Well,
it because I love it. I'm not saying it like it's a bad thing, but it just comes across a little bit different than it does
it
in the room.
it absolutely does, and I don't think that's a bad thing,
Yeah.
right? Like I think that um, I think it's a great thing. Like if we think about bands that do live albums and or capture that like live feeling in the
Hmm.
studio, and some bands are really good at doing that, but in my humble opinion, you guys are more of a, I don't want to say a studio band, but like to me, I listened to what was that? The fucking opening track, dude.
Yeah.
Krasavica Moya, which
Yeah.
is it is such a fucking beautiful track.
Thank you.
Like, holy fuck. How do you capture that live? You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's a tough one.
And in my mind, that is like it reminds me of things that like Pink Floyd would do,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
they're a fucking tremendous band live and in the
Yeah.
studio. And I think you guys are too.
Thank you.
And
I
so
appreciate that.
I I if I could give you any words of wisdom from a dumbass, um, I would say treat them all like you're doing with the respect that they deserve in their own things, and just keep doing what you're doing because it's if you're going to do a live album, do a live album. But
Yeah.
realistically,
Yeah.
like those five tracks before you get into the Starstruck tracks are just they're fucking phenomenal tracks.
Thank you. Yeah, we had a blast with them. I mean, that was then we did. I mean, the drums, bass, and most of the guitar was the live take too on those, and then we just slowly kind of built a little bit around them.
Mhm.
So the vibe's always there. Like I can't. None of us really enjoy tracking things. Like we've tried it, and it's just like, yeah, that works. And then it's like, let's just try it one more time together, you know. And then it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
that's so much better. Um, but those songs, like we really that was the first time where I like spent time at home by myself after we had left the studio and just was like working on things. And like, oh, you know what'd be really cool is if I put a little guitar here, if I added a little bit of this vibe here, you know, and it allowed us the space to like build the tracks and build not the tracks, but build the songs. Cause some of those we didn't even really complete until we were in the studio, which was new for us. Usually we like play them a million times live and then cut them. And this time we were like, these aren't quite done yet. How are we going to do these? What are we going to do to finish these? What are the lyrics going to be? Like, there's parts on Better Days. I let a friend listen to it. He came back with me. He's like, this is cool, but this is just a, this isn't finished, right? There's a whole section that should have vocals. And I was like, no, it's done. He's like, no, I think the end really could use some more vocals, you know? And I was like, driving around and I'm like thinking and I'm thinking, and all of a sudden this melody popped into my head and I went home and I redid it and sent it over to the Alex Reverberi who was mixing it. And he was like, you should come up to the house and lay these down. He's like, I really like what it does. And like the screams at the end of what the fuck, those weren't there originally. Like I was like not sure how to approach that because we'd never really I'm not like a that's not my I'm not a screamer. Like I'm not like, okay, cool, every song's gonna have some screams in it, or I'm gonna scream through this song or whatever. So it was pretty out of my comfort zone to even try it, because I was like, this isn't gonna work, you know. So it was fun to have the time and the space on those songs to like make sure that they were like put together rather than just like, all right, cool, we had our 2 days in the studio, we got what we got, now let's release it, you know?
Yeah.
Um, so it was really fun to do that with the guys and like actually spend some time on them and kind of build them out the way we wanted them to be, you know.
Well,
But
and
thank you.
it's I think it's part of the progression in the band too, right?
Hmm.
Like I think the taking more time with the tracks, even after you kind of are in the studio doing the things and tweaking them the way you want. Forget what I think. Let me ask you, or how how are you feeling with the finished product versus like some of the earlier stuff?
I love it. I think it's great. I am really, I'm not like a prideful person, but I am proud of what we've done over the years. You know, it's like the fourth album I've put out, I guess, because there was a solo one a long time ago. And to listen to the progression of what I've done and then what we've done once I moved here, and then, you know, we had a gentleman, Jeremy Gill, who was in the band playing drums originally on the first record. And then Chip stepped in right before we recorded the second record, Dissolution. And then with Chip, we've done Dissolution, the self-titled, and then Is This Thing On? And we actually just put together a new one that's going to be coming out in a couple weeks. Just kind of surprise drop, single, long, 11-minute song. It's like the heaviest, gnarliest one I think we've done yet. And I'm happy with our progression. I'm happy with what we've done. The evolution of it all is fun. I go back and I listen to the earlier songs and like I love them, but of course, it's like those were recorded right before the pandemic, so it was like March. I want to say we were in the studio February or March of 2020 for that first record, and like we felt like we were like coming out the gate strong. We're ready to go, and it felt great. We were getting, doing a lot of stuff in town, and then all of a sudden the world's like, yeah,
Hold on.
you're gonna have to wait a little while, and it was like super proud of that. Got it out, released it. It's great. Now I go back and I'll listen to things and I'm like, man, I really wish I didn't miss that note. Or I'm real, I really wish that I would have taken the time to do this or do that. Um, I still can listen to them. I mean, it's not like I can't listen to them.
Well, and I think part of that like process is it like sets you up for what you're doing in the future too,
Yeah, yeah,
right? You listen
yeah.
back and you go, "Oh man, well, if I would have did,
Mm-hmm.
this there, it maybe
Mm-hmm.
would have changed this." But now
Mm-hmm.
you're like, "Oh, I should have did this there. I can do it fucking here,
Yeah.
bitches."
Absolutely. That's happened a bunch between the writing, but also like on the mixing side of things. It's like not quite understanding like what to say the first go round, when it is your first rodeo and you're just like, yeah, man, sounds great,
Sounds
but in
good.
your
Yeah.
but in your head you're like, isn't this a little darker sounding than like everybody else's, or I really wish it actually built up a little bit more in this section. I don't know if it's, like then I didn't know that, maybe it was just a little overly compressed and it was causing it to not like expand when it was supposed to. And instead it just changed tone. And then it doesn't quite have like the impact that it does when it's live. Those sorts of things. It's like you said, each step you take, you just learn a little bit more. You learn how to interact with everybody. You learn how to like stand up for yourself and be like, I know we're pushed for time, but like this isn't right.
Yeah.
Let's do it again. Or, hey, you know what? Before we move on, I want to listen to it all the way through and do me a favor and isolate the guitar track real or the drums or whatever, to be able to sit there and like talk through the process with somebody. And then it does just evolve the tone and the sound and the vibe and everything else. It's been a really cool experience, and I'm really happy that I've gotten to experience it the way that I have. Like I said, I'm proud of what we've done and where we come from. If I could change things in some sense, there may be some things, but I think that's also kind of part of why we did the live at Starstruck stuff on there as well, because we had the studio for a couple of days we finished everything really quickly, the five new tracks. I was like, man, everybody's always asking because those songs we didn't ever record with Chip, our new drummer. So I was like, we kind of vibe with these different. It feels a little different than it used to. I was like, I'm not gonna like sell these, so I'm not gonna charge people for them. But like, why don't we just re-record it? Because we're in this great studio with this great setup. We can cut through these tracks like two or three times, pick the best one, and just put it up so that like people can kind of see the evolution there too. It's weird re-releasing something, but at the same time, it's like with different people in the band, it feels different. So why not kind of give people that chance to hear it
Yeah.
this way now with better production and so on, So it just kind of felt like the right move at the time and was fun. I'm glad we did it.
That
Um,
that's the important thing, dude. And I think that's a piece that people miss when you're in the studio is you got like I know you're in there for a reason. We're going to do this and we're kind of got to be serious, but you have to have fun with it. Like if not, you end up doing something like load and reload,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's so true, man. Like I've, I don't know. We've always had fun. But there's a difference when everybody like really just settles in and feels comfortable and
yeah,
you just everybody's like in their role rather than being like, "Oh my God, I got to hear that click. I got to be on top of this. I got to make sure I do this. I got to make sure I do that. I can't really think about anything but this." And you just the vibe changes and it gets stiff. I mean, this new one that we recorded that we'll be releasing soon, like we went in there with that in mind. We're like, this is a long song, so we got to make sure that we're at least playing to a click. It was like that way if we need to punch in, we can, and it won't feel weird. And we did probably like six takes, and we were like, yeah, these are good, but something's not right. We took a little break, stepped outside for a little bit, came back in, and I was like, let's do this one more time. And there was that shift in vibe, and it still did the same exact click, but like it sounds and feels completely different because we'd realized that we'd gotten as good as we're gonna get by staying like hyper focused and like really on top of things, that we were able to just kind of like settle into ourselves the way that we normally would play it, and all of a sudden the feel came back and it was like, let's do it a couple more times and we'll pick from those three, and the first six never even got listened to, because once we kind of got comfortable and didn't feel like
yeah,
what happens if we don't pull this off, it was like, okay, we got one. So let's see how much we can just like ease into this and play off the beat a little bit and just have some fun. And that is what I mean. If this would have been my first recording, I would have just been like, okay, we're done, moving on. And we never would have tried again. We never would have got that,
right,
because I would have been like,
yeah,
why would I ask them to do round seven and round eight of a 10-minute song? It's like, because that's the point, is to get it good, right? And have
yeah.
it feel natural.
Well, I mean,
Um,
the studio is just another tool for a band,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like just like the live show, right? They're different tools for the band, and you're selling them. It's a sales job,
yeah,
you're selling the band in different aspects,
yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah. It's an interesting world. It's an interesting world to be in, to be honest,
Yeah.
you know, but
Do
it's
you
fun.
struggle with like? I think there are a lot of bands out there um, that struggle with, well, we want to take this as far as we can, or that they're kind of on that fence of, man, we really we just like playing together. We're going to have fun with it, or we want to take it like as far as we can. Do you struggle with that, or are you like comfortable with where you
Yeah,
are?
no, I struggle with that all the time. I mean, I would love to be traveling. I would love to be playing more. I would love to be able to pay my guys like good money, like to where everybody's happy and this is what we do. Um, it's hard, man. Like it's hard. And everybody else knows. Um, there were years where I was bartending where I could kind of get away with it and really focus on it, and it just never quite caught. And then now I'm working a great job, but it's a Monday through Friday job. I have time off, but I have to plan it well in advance, which isn't the easiest way to tour, like especially at this point. I can't exactly be like, all right, cool, I'm gonna take this time off 4 months from now and I'm gonna tour during that time and then go to somebody and be like, okay, cool, here are the dates that I can tour. And they're like, yeah, no, we're booked, or we'd prefer you to come out in 2 months or 6 months or 8 months. It's like it's hard, like that balance is tough. I also, being here in Nashville, I see a lot of musicians that are playing with like really big acts that are touring, and I hear the stories of what it's, what they're dealing with and what it's like and how much it costs and how little they may get paid and how much of a struggle it is. And I see how many people interchange in bands out here on that touring level. And it's like, dude, it's hard. Like in a perfect world, I would have been much happier probably in the 60s or the 90s or something like that, where it was just kind of like, yeah, you're going to be broke, but you're going to be able to pay to get from gig to gig and you're going to have places to stay and everything's going to be all right. And someday, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're playing and you're having fun with your friends. This era of like social media and all of the sales aspect of it that didn't used to exist is honestly, I think, what I have more of a difficulty with because I
Yeah.
really don't like pitching myself. I really have a hard time with that. I always
You
have.
don't have to. Like, if I
Yeah.
could tell you anything, like, it's not about pitching yourself,
Yeah.
right? Like, so although my day job is sales, I am not a fucking salesman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I despise the
Yeah.
thought of being a salesman because when I think salesman, I think used car salesman.
Yeah.
Here I am with the fucking looking disheveled in my suit and my loose tie, and I'm sweating and
Yeah.
like, and the reality is like, if I'm out there showing a house, I don't need to sell you on the house. You know if you like the house or not.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with a band, right?
Yeah.
You you have good music. You put it out there. It's not about like my band. It's about here's what we do. Just listen to
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
And I think it's I'm with you, right? Like
Yeah.
I just crested 50.
Yeah.
So the whole social media thing, like I gotta ask my kids about this shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
what is
Yeah.
it? What is this ticky tock? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Um, but but and I just God, this brings up a really good conversation I had over the weekend with someone. We're having I get a text, hey, I got some questions about this album and how we can get it out to more places and blah blah blah. So we talk, and I'm like, okay, album release was let's call it like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
There was a PR campaign, 90-day PR campaign leading up to album release.
Yeah.
As literally album release, the band went, awesome, we're gonna go into writing mode. What?
Yeah.
We need more music. Do what you're gonna do, but you need to do some more shit, play some more
Yeah.
shows. So we had
Yeah.
this conversation about playing more shows. So that was a conversation this weekend. What can we do? Like, can we do another PR campaign? No, you
Yeah.
don't
It's
have anything new. It makes no sense to put,
yep.
it's like four figures into a campaign to get maybe one or two reviews and an interview or two. Like,
Yeah. Been there, done that.
yeah, it
Never,
doesn't make,
never after it came out, luckily. But I mean, even when you're doing it in the right order, it's still it's a slog. It can be a slog,
well,
you
absolutely.
know.
But, it is, it's really about like if you're gonna do a campaign and release an album, you have to capitalize on that,
Hmm.
um, and play shows around it. Because
Yeah.
when you're talking about the album being released, you can also promote the shows to get more people out to the shows to
Yeah.
see the album, to buy the album, and all that good shit. So it's tough, but it's in the aspect of a sales position. Here I am full circle in my
Yeah.
big soapbox. Uh,
Yeah.
do what you're gonna do. Like
Yeah.
it it doesn't matter. You don't have to be out, you don't have to be out touring with bigger acts. Wherever you guys are fucking happy. If you're fucking playing regionally, fucking kick ass,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I think we have kind of gone through these different stages of where I was like, okay, we got to get out. We got to play as much as we can. We got to get the right attention. We always did it wrong in this town in the sense that we played too much. So we never got invited really to do any of the, and I'm not saying that this is the only reason why. I have no idea what the reasons are, but I definitely know because this has been mentioned by talent buyers and stuff. They're like, man, you really only need to play locally like every 3 to 4 months and da 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 da. And then that gives you freedom to open for bigger acts that are coming through. And we try that and then that doesn't really happen. And then we just feel antsy because we're not playing and we just want to play. Like that's really what it boils down to for us is like the three of us are happiest when we're playing,
Yeah,
whether it's here, whether it's in Europe, whether it's on the West Coast, whether it's in Canada, it doesn't matter. Like, even if it's just in the basement at Grayson's house working on new stuff, like, we're happiest when we're playing. So, like, it was a real hard point for me because I was like, man, I just want to play. Like, I'm here, we're doing our thing. We want to share this music and play all the venues we can and have as much fun and play with as many different bands as we can, but like it becomes kind of a detriment after a while. So we kind of pulled back on that. But then I got about a year and a half ago, I started this job. And then that was kind of the moment where I was like, all right, so I'm working, 40 to 50 hours a week. And when I was bartending, I was working like 3 12-hour shifts a week. So I had 4 days off. I was zonked most of them because of the long shifts, but I still had 4 days off. So I could spend a day on the computer sending out messages, and I could spend a day working on the new album artwork, and I could spend a day writing, and then we could go rehearse one night. And I was like, oh man, my week is so chaotic. And now all of a sudden it's like, all right, cool. So I leave the house at like 8 o'clock in the morning to go to work, and I don't get home from rehearsal till midnight. And then I got to be back up and leave the house at 8 o'clock the next morning to drive up to Nashville to go to work. And my fiance is like, hey, it'd be cool if we got to spend some time together, or
yeah,
it's like maybe you could take the dog out every once in a while because she's eating the remote, it's like, and I'm just sitting here going, oh my God, like there's so much. And I know, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but it was such an interesting shift to go from it's like I kind of regret some of the time not being used a little bit better when it was going on, because there were times where I was like I was bored because I was like not working that much, and maybe I wasn't getting responses or we weren't getting shows, and it felt like, well, what's the point, and it's like I just want to have fun and play music. um and then recently I was really kind of struggling with all this because it was kind of trying to make that decision. I was like, man, well, now I have this job where I can't just take off for a couple weeks and go play if the opportunity arises. And Masha, my fiance, was like, well, how often is that even happening? How often are you getting out of town for 2 weeks at a time to go play? And I was like, maybe once a year if we really work hard on it, because at this point, that's where it was at. It was like we were just playing locally, and occasionally we'd go out to California and play in Sacramento, where I grew up, or we've been up to Michigan, or we've even been out to England and Ireland and Wales, because some songs got played out there and they like us. So we go play, just super grassroots style. Um, but aside from that, it was mainly just like weekend things. And she said to me one night, she was like, just because you step away from the business doesn't mean you step away from music, because they're two different things in the first place. And it just kind of hit me. At first, I was like, kind of upset. I was like, well, what are you trying to tell me? You telling me that it's time to give it up? Like, in the ego kicked in, and I was like, I'm not ready to give it up yet and all this stuff. And then one day I was just on my way to work and it hit me and I was like, and all she's telling me to do is be the artist and don't worry about the rest. Just be the
Yeah.
artist. There's no point. Like I've worried about so many things that haven't happened. I have worried about trying to do so many things that might turn into something that never happened. It's like, dude, it's like you said, it's like I really do believe that as a musician, you gotta make the art that makes you happy, or else you're setting yourself up
Well,
for
that's
disappointment.
right. Like I think, that is a really, really important thing. Like if you're having fun playing music, to me, that's the number one thing,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
the best music is to me people that are friends and
yeah,
there's a relationship and they enjoy playing together.
yeah,
Like, and if first I have to say, fuck yeah to your fiance
yeah,
because, she's supporting you in a way I think that someone that really loves you is going to support you,
yeah,
you know? Like
yeah,
that is so fucking awesome,
yeah, yeah. It is. I'm lucky. She is awesome.
So yeah, who gives a flying fuck
Yeah,
like
for real.
where it goes? I mean,
Yeah,
that is if you're having fun doing it, and if you make the decision that, you know what, I do want to spend more time doing this, let's talk because you have your fucking weekends.
yeah. That's where we're at. I just need to plan this out right. I mean, the beauty of it is it took me a minute because at first I'm like, oh man, I only have this much time off, so I can only do this many things. And then one day I was like, or I have 16 long weekends, or I have 8 really long weekends, or I have a week and a bunch of long and then all of a sudden the reality of what it actually meant started to
Yeah.
kick in. And at that point I was like, man, we can do a lot in those 3 to 4 day weekends. It's like, and then that it was weird. It was like her telling me that actually freed me up to stop being my own worst enemy and actually just kind of like step back for a minute and be like, what exactly is this? What exactly is going on? And like, what do we want? Like, what do we actually want with this? You know? So at this point, I think that is the goal over the next like 6 months to a year is to just really start stretching it out and getting out of Nashville, even if it's just a quick short weekend, or even if it's
Dude,
just a run up to play Mag Bar on a Monday night, it's like, like, let's go.
727 with dead runes,
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Um,
That's going to be a fun one.
yes, it will. But you're absolutely right. I think that, what we are taught growing up is we are in this fucking box.
Yeah.
So often we look at something and all we see is this box.
Hmm.
You know, shit, if you only looked at this, you'd be like, oh, all it says is D.
Hmm.
But then you look at the whole thing and you're like, oh shit, it's a whole
Hmm.
set list.
Hmm.
Hold on, where did that come from? And it opens up those fucking all those questions and
Hmm.
like, I'm not just really stuck in this box.
Hmm.
I'm I'm very big on I can't live in a box. I did it for years. When I lived in Nashville, I worked for Rafferty's. I don't even know if Rafferty's is still in Nashville anymore. Um, yeah, where was it at? 100 Oaks or something?
Yeah. I think it's something else. It may still be there, but it might actually have changed ownership too. But I know where
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah. So the one I was at was at Cool Springs in
Oh,
Franklin.
okay. Yeah.
And I know that one closed because
Yep.
I got transferred to Louisville.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, dude, I fucking hate this. Why am I working 6, 7 days a fucking week for
Yeah.
at the time it was like I think I was making 30,000 a year.
Yeah.
fuck this, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
like
is like the equivalent of 120 now.
it's dude, it's so weird though. Like
Yeah.
that was, what an eye-opening experience. But
Yeah.
I I can't tell you, like you, I am lucky to have my wife is so supportive of all of my dumbass ideas. And
Yeah.
that's
Hell
what they
yeah.
fucking are, dude, is I, dumbass ideas. I told her the other day, hey, I think I want to get my mortgage loan originator's license. And she's like, you want another fucking license? I'm like, yeah, I think I might do that.
Why not?
She's like, okay, I guess, but do you have time? I'm like, probably
Yeah.
not, but
Yeah. You never know when I'll need it though.
if I do one fucking loan,
Yeah.
it paid for itself. I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You know, but
yeah.
it's so stupid. So um I would what I would offer to you if you are wanting to just do, weekend stuff um in the near future, I might be able to connect you with a few people that can help you with
Cool.
that.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Um
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
it'll make things easier for you guys. And then like the good thing about where, like the area that we live is we're so centralized. Within a couple hour drive, there's a lot of major fucking markets that we can hit.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I mean, I'd be on board. We'd all be on board 100% on that because man, it's just so much fun to play for new people. I love playing locally, but like, it's something else when you get in front of people that you've never met before and you're playing in a new room and the energy that you feel doing it is different. Like you put on a different show, whether or not it's palpable from the audience perspective. Like we feel it on stage. Um, like I don't want to be 80 someday laying in a bed wondering why didn't I ever do that? Why didn't I ever take Tom up on that? Why didn't we ever go see what we could do and play those weekend shows and do the thing? It's like, but I'm also at that point now where I'm like, it's a little different than it was, like we've kind of had to restructure that when we talk. We're like, all right, cool. So now we don't get to quite just say, oh, we're gonna dip out for a month and live in the van and like, travel around and play for next to nothing, which
That's
is
that's not true. You still can.
well, I
There just are
can.
consequences that come with
Yeah,
it.
exactly. So, it's like it's like quality, it becomes quality over quantity. It's like, let's make sure that the shows that we play, whether or not they're small or big, doesn't matter, but let's just make sure that they're worth it and that they're good shows and like playing them out to make them count when we do play them, and that's kind
That's
of where we're at now is like, let's just make sure that when we do play that you know, it's worth something. Like,
well, like look, I think a lot of bigger bands are starting to get in that mode too. Like if we're gonna play out, let's not go out for 6 months and play every fucking night with a night
yeah,
off every 3 weeks or whatever.
yeah,
Like like um the first three that come to mind is High on Fire, Acid Bath, and Metallica.
yeah,
Metallica plays 2 nights a fucking week. Acid
yeah,
Bath plays 2 nights a week. Right now, High on Fire, I think, does between 2 and 4 nights a
yeah,
week when they play, So it's like it makes you question, makes me question, why did they start doing that? Well, Metallica started doing that because they're like,
yeah,
we're fucking Metallica. We
yeah,
could do whatever the fuck we want. But
yeah,
Acid Bath started doing that because it made sense.
yeah,
Like if we don't go play every fucking night and we play in select markets, it drives ticket sales in those markets. I mean, I can't
yeah,
tell you how many times I've traveled to an Acid Bath show.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the thing, man. Like we and I get it, especially locally, over the years when the talent buyers would tell us that they'd be like, "Look, man, you want to play 100 shows for 10 people, or do you want to play like a couple shows for thousands of people? Kind of, it's like, and I'm not saying that we've been offered many shows playing for 1,000 people, but it's like playing the bigger rooms and getting invited in to play them. It's like, do you want to play the Springwater a bunch for like literally 10 people and do it once a week, or do you want to try to save this up and make sure when you do play shows, people show up and it's a good turnout and it's worth it? I was always like, yeah, but I just want to play,
Yeah.
and that's the hard part. Um,
Well, but it's
at
not
the
the hard
time, because
part.
we couldn't really
It's
get out of town. It was
well,
like,
yeah, it's figuring that part out,
yes, yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
which I think is it again, right? We're like, okay, we just want to play. We're
yeah,
here locally. We're just gonna fucking play locally as much as
yeah,
possible.
yeah,
Well, it works for a while,
yeah,
and it's cool, but then it's like, fuck, we can
yeah,
go further. We can go bigger. Or,
yeah.
you know,
Well, the worst part is you also kind of get to that point, and I've battled with it over the last year. You really, I mean, you really start to question things. You really start to question what you're doing. You really start to question like who you are anymore. Like I love Nashville, but I think one of the hardest parts about Nashville is the fact that it is such a music business town that when you talk to people, and most people here aren't in the heavier scene. So like
right.
when you are talking to people, they're like fresh out of Belmont, which is a great school with a great music program, or they're playing in a country band, or they're trying to manage the next hit, the next Ella Langley country star, whatever, and it's like it's a different market to begin with, but then they start talking to you and it's like, well, what you really need is this, and that's when it becomes like it becomes a
It stops
product.
becoming
It
fun.
it becomes a product. It's not like art anymore because the
Yeah.
music doesn't even matter. Like, I'll see
No,
people
because their
get,
goal is to sell fucking millions of records and that's it. They don't
yeah,
give a fuck.
yeah, yeah, and it's a trip because I hear stories all the time. They're like, "Yeah, man, so and so booked this band because they have, a couple 100,000 streams on Spotify and like, 100,000 monthly listeners, and like four people showed up,
Yeah.
or they show up and like it's the dude with like a guitarist and tracks, not even a band, and they're like, well, we can't afford to have like a full band, and it's such a trip to me because we're over here, we're like, oh yeah, we just spent the last like 8 years grinding out these songs to the point where we can play them, totally fucked up, and still manage to play them right, and it's like that says something that should be appreciated, but this town can be a little tough outside the genre when it comes to the business side of things, and it really does start to get, I don't know, man, like maybe it's just getting older in my mid to
I
late
don't think
mid
so, dude.
40s now where I start thinking about things differently, but like,
You're looking
I
for authenticity and when you're in a town like Nashville, there's not a lot of authenticity. Like the people often go there. I'm sure you fucking have met 100 people in the last month that all came to Nashville for the same reason. Well, I want to be a songwriter. I want to be a country star or
yeah, yeah,
something,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah,
it is just the Nashville is a beast
yeah,
in that way. Like
yeah.
do the Wootens still do like roundtables?
I think so. I'm not sure how often they come through. I saw, I think Victor came in. I work at Carter Vintage Guitars in the Gulch now. So there at the guitar shop, we get a lot of like, that's been a really interesting aspect of this job is like, I've had friends that are like, man, you've tried so hard to break into this world and now you just go work at a guitar shop and you're like rubbing elbows with like everybody, and it's like, yeah, it's not quite like that, but I see what you're saying. But they come through a lot. Um, there's a it's Nashville's a trip, man. Like there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
And it's expanding. I don't want to, I'm definitely not trying to sound like cynical or jaded or like I don't appreciate what I've
It's okay.
managed to
You
do here.
you kind of can, right?
But it is it's it's different, man. It's different. Like you said, like the business and the box is kind of like what draws a lot of people here. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but a lot of people get drawn here because they're like, I want to be in that box. That's like the box that I'm aiming for. And that's cool. But if you are outside of the box, like I can't tell you how many times I've heard people be like, man, you guys are great. Too bad you're not in Seattle. And I'm like, well, I came here from Seattle. They're like, too bad you're not in LA. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah, but
okay,
it
but
doesn't.
maybe just appreciate what's
I
happening here.
I it's like it's so funny that I love it when people say that. They're like, "Man, you'd be so great if you were just here." No,
Yeah,
we're fucking great here.
yeah, yeah,
Like 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 Seattle, what does Seattle have going on right now? Like, are there some good bands out there? Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Are they blowing up? Fuck no.
yeah,
There's not
yeah,
anywhere right now that's really blowing up.
yeah,
Um, everything's kind of doing the thing,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's a trip, man. It's like the old Waylon Jennings statement, too dumb for New York, too ugly for LA. And it's like that, it's kind of a trip though, because now it's like kind of the getting to be a little bit of both, like, the indie off the beaten path, kind of like pretentious artist is happening more and more in Nashville because people are moving here for those reasons. And then
Yeah.
you also got like you also have the it's like LA 2.0 in so many aspects. I mean, there's so many when I see new rock bands and they're like, "Yeah, we just moved out here from LA. It's so good." I mean, I had a guy tell me one night at a show that I went to see three bands that were friends that were super talented, are super talented rock and roll bands. And this guy comes up to me afterwards and he goes, "Yeah, we just moved here from LA. Doesn't it feel good to know there's finally good rock and roll in Nashville?" And I'm standing there thinking to myself, like, bro,
Well, you're a dumbass, dude.
I don't even know who you are. Like, I'm here for my friends' bands, and it's like, I never saw that guy again. Like, I don't know. Maybe he moved back to LA. I don't know. Maybe he stopped. Maybe he's a country artist now, for all I know. But like, it's just kind of a trip, man. People get so up their own ass, like in so many ways that like
Yeah.
they just forget about like dude, the community is what it's about, and playing music with friends and like hanging out. Like, dude, if we got to put in an 8-hour shift at a venue, like if we got to be there at 4 o'clock to load in, to start the show at 7, to wrap at midnight, to make $20, like it better be a fun night with friends. Like
Yes.
what the fuck else is the point?
Because, right.
Like for real, like what is the point at that point if I'm putting in an 8-hour shift on top of a normal 8-hour day to play music? It's got to be fun, or else what is the point? Like what are we even
Well,
doing this for?
and I think it's so funny to think um, everyone wants to be like the next hot, well, not everyone, but a lot of people want to be the next big thing or the next hot thing.
Yeah,
And the big bands in the world are like the 1% of the 1%.
yeah,
Acid Bath. So I was in Cleveland a couple months ago and we went to see The Obsessed on Thursday night. Acid Bath was playing Friday, or maybe it was Friday, Saturday, but I don't really remember. Too many shows.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I don't drink, so I don't have that like, oh, I forgot because I was drunk bullshit. Um, so like we're at the Obsessed show and three-fifths of Acid Bath show up. So I'm standing there talking to Sammy, like, hey, dude, like I remember Acid Bath when they were first playing,
uh,
right? I remember when they like stopped playing, so it was just like, oh, fuck. I said, hey,
yeah,
dude, what's it like playing the Acid Bath shit again after so many years? He said, dude, it's so fucking weird. Like, it's great, but it's weird because back in their first go round, they'd go play a show. He's like, oh, we toured the West Coast with Sleep, and we were lucky to have 5 people in the venue that weren't band or staff.
yeah,
Like, that's so fucking wild.
yeah,
And it's taken, this long to get there,
Yeah.
right? And then Crowbar, same thing.
Yeah.
How many years was Crowbar the fucking and again, another band that I've loved for many, many years, but they were someone's, I don't know who said this, and I'm so sorry, Kirk. I don't mean this is no disrespect at all. Um, they were like, Kirk Winstein made the best opening band ever. They opened for fucking everyone. And now they're not an opening band anymore.
Yeah.
Like, thank you, TikTok, for fucking blowing them up. But
Yeah.
how long did it take them to get to this point
Yeah.
too, right? So 10
Yeah.
years, in my mind, you guys are still a
We're still
baby band.
pups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but I'm 45. That's the
I,
problem.
I trust me, I know.
I'm not 25 at this point, and that's,
Yeah.
you know, but
So you got to
I
have fun with it.
that's it. I mean, like, I'm gonna fucking have fun until the wheels fall off or my hands stop working or my
Yeah.
voice. So,
Hell yeah.
as long as we're having fun and everybody keeps showing up to do it, like in the band, I'm just gonna keep pushing the way that I push and try to write. Um, it's funny, like you said earlier, the band that you were talking to that was like, "Can we do another PR campaign?" And I was talking to Chip, our drummer, the other night, and I was like, "Man, I think it's time. We gotta start writing. We gotta start writing again." And he's like, "Man, we have like almost 3 hours of originals when you add them all up, and it's like, dude, it's okay to take a breath. Like, it's
Hmm.
okay to just like rehearse and enjoy and play and get ready for the shows and just take a breath and not constantly." That was kind of where my mindset was, and that was kind of what was like messing me up for a while. Was I was like, there were so many things like that trip to England and Ireland. I was working in my mind. I didn't actually get to truly enjoy it because I was like also tour managing. I was putting the shows together, I was renting the van, I was renting the Airbnb, I was driving, I was making sure the back line was rented, I was making sure you know what I mean? I was doing
Yeah.
all the things as well as singing and playing every night when we were playing. And I didn't really get a whole lot of moments where I was like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool. We're in London right now." Instead I was like, "All right, we got to get out of here quick because we got to get over to the ferry first thing in the morning to go over to Ireland." And it was like, I can look back on it and be like, "Man, that was a really fun trip and it was totally worth it." But at the same time, like, I didn't even get to really enjoy it
Right.
because I was just grinding the whole time. I was
Well,
just so
because
like
you're
focused on what
always
I was
thinking about
doing.
the next moment and not
Yeah.
like, okay, I need to be present right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. And I'm trying, we're trying, I'm trying to do that more. It's so hard though, because the world's so fucking crazy right now. Um, that it's like, being present sometimes is like, you got to escape a little bit in order to be present in the music.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just like you're so right. I mean, it's all about being present and enjoying it and just being in it and not thinking about what's next. That's kind of what Chip was telling me. He's like, dude, we got, it'll come. You don't need to worry about what it's going to sound like or try to figure out what direction it'll come.
Yep.
We'll be down there jamming one day and it'll just happen just like everything else has happened so far. And we'll be like, "Oh shit, there's a new song. All right, let's work on it and let's build it up." And he's right. I just I don't know, like I think I get the struggle for me is more on the like, I don't necessarily want to be like, "Oh, the struggle's the mental health side of it," but the struggle is being okay with like taking a breath and not pushing so hard and feeling like I have to prove things
Yeah.
all the time.
But it's hard, dude.
It
Like, and
is.
it's really hard because I am unfortunately I'm the same fucking way. It's
Yeah.
I have such a hard time being complacent and present in the moment. Like,
Yeah.
and it is so fucking bad my 10-year wedding anniversary with my wife is next week. We're going to Vegas so we're going to renew our vows to a
Nice,
Minneotas.
nice.
And I literally, she's like, "Are you going to work while we're there?" I said, "Yes, I'm going to have to work every single day, at least a little bit."
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah,
I know that that's going to be a
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Yep.
Like this, just prep. So I know.
Yeah,
And I'm like, okay, so I try to plan, like we're only there for 4 days or whatever. So I try
yeah,
to kind of plan, okay, these moments, these are the times where I'm 100% yours.
yeah,
Phone's put away, everything's put away. I'm not fucking
yeah,
with anything. I am yours. She's
yeah,
like, you always like try to plan us to the minute. It's like, no, I just need to know like what we're doing.
yeah,
So I know like, okay, I need to do my work between 8 and 10 in the morning and then
yeah,
put my shit away and then it's our time.
yeah. I mean,
So
I think that's the key.
it is 100%. So
I've been
like
bad at that. I'm not exactly good at budgeting time. Yeah,
same,
yeah,
literally
yeah,
like I
yeah.
am terrible at it. She's like, "Hey, we gotta play for one of the kids tonight." Mind you, my kids now they're out of high school. They're both 19
Cool.
and 22. Fuck.
That's wild.
Dude. I know I talked to my mom a few months ago. Uh by the end of last year. I said, "Mom, this is weird." She said, "What?" I'm like, "It's weird having two adults as kids." She's like, "Yeah, tell me about it." I'm like,
Like,
"Yeah,
welcome to the club.
yeah,
Yeah,
Mom, I miss you. I love you."
yeah,
She passed away in March, so
yeah. I lost mine in 2017, so that's a tough one.
yeah,
That's a tough one. She was my biggest fan. As cheesy as that sounds, she was my biggest fan and biggest supporter. Then I
yeah,
lost my dad right after COVID, so it's been I feel you, man. I miss the talks with them a lot.
yeah. Me too. It was my dad was 2013. I'm I'm gonna tell you the date. I don't know if you're real good with dates, but he died December 8th, 2013. Do you know the significance of December 8th?
I can't, no.
It's two significant music deaths on December 8th. John Lennon
Yeah.
and Dimebag Darrell.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's also the day Jim Morrison was born.
That's a trip.
Yep. So he died December 8th. My little brother passed April 5th, 2019,
I know that
which,
date.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
This,
Not only
that,
is it my fiance's birthday, but I also know that date for as
oh
a
shit. Yeah.
lifelong 10-year-old when Smells Like Teen Spirit broke. Like, yeah.
But yeah, that's the day. Also, that Lane Staley passed.
Yeah. Same day. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like so wild.
Yeah.
Because for our honeymoon, we went to Seattle because it's one of my favorite eras of music is
Yeah.
grunge.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
such a nerd. I love it. But
Yeah.
so then my mom passed, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking weird because I have four other siblings,
Yeah.
but I'm not close to any of them. Like not like I was with Pat.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck. Like so much
Yeah.
so he got in some trouble and he took all of my fucking albums and pawned them at the pawn shop so he could pay a debt.
Yeah.
I'm still mad over that, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Such is life.
100%.
Yeah.
That is the theme of the night. So,
Yeah.
um, oh shit. Is your fiance gonna come up with you? to Magbar?
I hope so. She's trying her best to get off work so that she can come up, and I think she will be able to.
I
She's
can
the
get her
one
a
who she's
doctor's
helped us
note.
out a lot with like our like posters in the past and like album art, and kind of for a while was helping us with socials because I just like I said I'm terrible at it. She's a she likes to take photos. She's a really good photographer. A lot of our best photos of us as a band are ones that she took, so it's always fun when she's around. She kind of turns into the band mom, and
Oh
just
yeah.
hangs out and has a blast with us. So I'm hoping she'll be there for this one. She wants to.
Oh yeah. That'd be
Yeah,
cool. So
it
are you
would.
guys planning on coming up early or just getting here in time for the show?
No, I think we're like Grayson's got to work a half day, but he'll be off at noon, which works out perfect because I'm just gonna kind of wait down our way for Chip, go pick him up, and then go to pick up Grayson, and then get up there. Probably I don't know, like 4 o'clock, something like that,
Okay.
sometime around then.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get the Dead Runes guys to fucking come up early too, and we'll go have dinner before the show.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, if we can line that up, that'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of getting somewhere early enough to relax as opposed to like, oh shit, there's an accident. I don't know
Yeah.
if we're gonna make it.
Well, and I mean, I'm sure you know this, but a lot of people don't. Like you cross time zones coming up here.
Yeah, yeah, there's always that too. I always pay attention to that, but I know a lot of people don't. I get
Yeah.
that with people driving down to the guitar shop. They're like, oh, I'm coming from here. And I'm like, well, you're going to lose an hour. Like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, I'm just coming from Chattanooga. And I'm like, yeah, it's Eastern. Like, you're an
Yeah.
hour ahead of us. And I'm like, no shit. It trips me out. The time zone, the line here, just how it
Yeah.
like does its thing. But yeah, well, that's why I said 4, because in my head I was like, we'll be up there maybe around like 3, and I'm like, yeah, 4 o'clock.
Yeah. 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 No, I just wanted to make sure because dude, I can't tell you how many times
I bet.
I took my niece to Nashville to go see Bring Me the Horizon at is that Broadbent down there?
Yeah,
So we were going to Broadbent and she was like, "Oh, the show's at this time." I'm like, okay, so we have to leave about here. And she's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because they are an hour earlier.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
we don't have to leave at 3 o'clock to get there at 6. We'll be
yeah,
there at 5." And she's like, "Really?" Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's just the other direction that can get real messy.
Well, I think it gets messy both fucking ways.
Yeah,
I like to be super early because I like to eat.
yeah, yeah. I
So,
just don't want to be hot and sweaty because I'm rushing to unload and then get right
yeah.
on stage and all. Like, it just. And
Yep.
then you're not present and you're not having fun because all you're thinking about is like the traffic or whatever bullshit made you late in the first place.
Yep.
And then the
Yeah,
night's
for
over
sure.
and you're just like, well, why did I waste my energy thinking about that rather than enjoying the moment that I was in?
Yeah,
So
and so you guys haven't played Magbar before, have you?
we have not. No, it'll be our
Ha-
first.
Have Dead Runes told you about Magbar and the Metal Monday? Because
I've
they've played
heard
Metal
I've
Monday.
I have heard from them and I've heard about Magbar from Josh and Felicia. They're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
dude, you're gonna have a blast." And I think our friends that play there's a kind of post dark wave band Cassette Stress that we're friends with down here. They played Magbar for other occasions. They're like, "Dude, you're gonna have a blast. It's so much fun." So we're pumped.
Ma-
Everybody that we've talked to, once they saw the poster, they're like, "Oh, dude, I got a bunch of messages. People are like, you're gonna have a blast."
Yeah.
So we're really pumped for this show.
So Magbar, the thing about like the Metal Monday, Magbar itself is really cool, but the
Uh-huh.
Metal Monday has like a built-in crowd. Um,
That's what Reagan was saying.
yeah. The downside is you guys are playing not right after the Magbar Metal Fest or Magbar
Yeah,
Music Fest, which is
yeah, yeah,
we'll see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. That's like
Is
playing
your
for new
dog
people.
there?
Yeah, she just snuck in. She's like trying to like come in. Sorry, she's like
No, you're good.
afraid. She's like something's got her spooked, and she's walking into my room all funny. But Man, yeah, because the festival's that weekend, right? Saturday,
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. So,
Are you guys playing the 20th or the 27th?
20th. Yeah, it's the
Oh yeah.
20th.
So
Yeah,
that's
we're,
that
we're
I said
literally playing like the
27th.
day after, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be what it is. Hopefully some people show up and have a good time, to get to
Yeah,
play
I
for
mean,
some folks.
there will be some folks there. It
Yeah.
I would assume it'll be a light night, but a light night on a Metal Monday is like 30 or 40 people.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like
Yeah.
honestly, like we we used to always joke around. We're like, we pound for pound, that was our best gig yet. We'll play for like five people that are absolutely losing their minds. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, what else? I can't complain about that. The people that were there really enjoyed it. We really don't. It's just getting out of town and playing for new people and hopefully, making an impression that allows us to come back and get to do it again. It's all a process and we're
Yep.
just happy to be a part of it. So,
It is definitely all a process. I'm stoked. I
yeah,
think it'll be a
yeah,
great time. Of
yeah,
course, I love you guys. I love Dead Runes. I think fucking
yeah.
I'll be there. I will. So funny enough, we leave on the 15th for Vegas. We
Oh
come
yeah,
back,
yeah,
we get back on the 19th, and then you guys played the 20th.
yep,
The 21st will be like I'll be playing catch up with
yeah.
all of the things I couldn't do while I was out of town. And then I think the 22nd I'm leaving town again to go out on the road with a band until the following weekend.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We originally had a show lined up on the 18th in Appleton, Wisconsin. And then our drummer was like, hey, or it was the 19th. I think that's what it was. No, it was Saturday night. And we were going to try to book like a Friday. We were just trying to stretch it out. And our drummer's like, he plays in a different band. And they had this really cool opportunity come up in Nashville. And he's like, I'm going to fly home on the day we're not playing to go play that show, and then I'll fly back up and meet you in Louisville. And I was like, nah, dude, like this isn't we're no, like we're just gonna move the Appleton show. So then the funny thing is they got bumped to the next weekend. So we're kind of doing something similar. We're coming home and then I'll work through the week, and then Friday we'll leave early in the day and drive up to Wisconsin. We're playing one show, which is absolutely bonkers, but I don't care. We just want to get out of town and go play some music. So we're
So
gonna we're gonna drive up and play Appleton, Wisconsin on that Saturday, the 25th, and then
I'm
just
gonna
drive home. So
I'm gonna prep you. You're going to Wisconsin. Make sure you have room for spotted cow.
okay,
But just I you can only get it in Wisconsin.
cool.
So bring home 2 or 3 cases.
Hell yeah,
10 people
yeah,
what like anytime we go to Wisconsin, I always pick up a bunch of fucking spotted cow and bring it home and I'm like, hey, I got you some spotted cow. Hey, hey. They're like,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes make everybody happy.
Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, it does.
Cool.
Okay, Patrick, it is 9 o'clock and
It
my
is.
my day tomorrow starts at 5 a.m.
I appreciate your time, sir.
No, I appreciate yours, dude. I'm super stoked that we finally got to do this because I know we talked about it at that show
Yeah,
at Cobra.
yeah,
Um, Here we are.
yeah, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I know it's been kind of all over the place, but I've enjoyed it. So thank you for having me.
Me too. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm Now I'm looking forward to sitting down and having dinner with you before the show on the 20th.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm gonna fucking hit Reagan up and be like, hey dude, you're gonna cook for us
Hell
on the
yeah.
20th. He'll be like,
Hell yeah.
okay.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sounds good to me.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
enjoy your trip. Enjoy your renewing of vows.
Thank
Have
you.
some fun. Don't forget to put your phone down.
Mini Elvis is
Yeah,
renewing our vows, dude.
that's amazing.
I cannot tell you how excited both of us are for that. Like,
That's wild. That's gonna be fun.
yes, I will absolutely be present because that is.
Yeah, that's what
She's
it's all
my
about.
she's my fucking rock, dude. I would be
Yeah,
dead without her. So,
I feel that.
yes.
I feel that.
Awesome. Go have a great week and a half, and I'll see you 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah, hell yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
Hell
All
yeah.
right,
Well, have a great night.
all right, brother. Thank you.
See ya.